Now, there is one stock in my portfolio that I long-term invest in that every single day, I feel like I can just rely on this thing to either be flat or positive. And even when a day when the market is down, the stock seems to still go higher. The stock I'm talking about is JPMorgan, ticker symbol JPM. This stock just seems to be on fire as of recently. And let's pull back a little bit just to the past 180 days. And you can see here that the stock itself has been on a tear. We got to pull it even further. Yeah, it's been a massive run up for this thing. Back in April timeframe, we were looking at around $120, and now we're up to $156. Now, this is no Nvidia jumping $200 within a couple months, but still, this is a substantial move on a very solid, well-performing company. And the stock itself seems to be just doing pretty well every day. Anytime that we do come back and pull down to this 180 SMA line, we bounce off, we bounce off, we bounce off, we run a little bit, we bounce off, and now we just take off. So honestly, I mean, nice support right here around this 143 area. You can see there's some resistance there, resistance, which then turned into support because it held that area and bounced. So honestly, this 140 to 143 area, especially with this red SMA line right there, I see that this is it's a strong area where it's going to hold. Now, we just reported earnings and gave out our dollar dividends, okay? So you're talking about a stock that's moving positively to the upside. It's a little pricey, but they're paying out dollar dividends, okay? Earnings per share came out. They reported $3.61 was the estimate. They reported an actual of $4.75. Huge blowout earnings. And then the rest of the earnings came out too. It was overall a really, really good quarter. But moving forward, just looking at the stock, okay? Like a day like today, the market was down. The stock performed well. Why is that? Well, besides, the random news about bank stocks and what they've been up to, I can just pull this over here real quick. And this was a big announcement that came today that the Fed launched a Fed Now instant payment service. So this basically allows banks and credit unions to sign up and to use this tool to instantly transfer money from their customers. Okay, and it looks like the Fed said that 35 banks and credit unions already with these instant payment programs. So it's been a good day for bank stocks, especially JPMorgan. But on top of that, I mean, JPMorgan on track for its highest close since 2022. Now, along with that, I mean, we just have a bunch of good news coming about JPMorgan, and it's a really, really solid play. We're positive on Chinese internet stocks. JPMorgan says that's an interesting statement right there. But hey, you win some, you lose most, I guess. But look at this, Morgan Stanley, the price adjustment, price targets. This is also another thing I want to look at. They actually pulled the price target down from 173 to 160. And guess what this thing did? It started cranking again. It started pulling back up. It started taking off, and we're back up to 156, okay? And then if we scroll back far enough, this is there's a lot of news that comes out about bank stocks and whatnot. But if you do scroll back long enough, you'll get to where they were talking about earnings and whatnot. But there is a lot of good information coming from this specific stock, JPMorgan, and this is not only a good long-term investment, but it's a good one to play throughout the day. I mean, the past 2 days, you can see that if we just play the 5-day, 5-minute chart off this SMA line here, and you entered above the first green candle above the blue SMA line and didn't close until the first red candle out, I mean, that's a good trade right there in itself. Same thing with over here. The first green candle that jumps up, first red candle that jumps down, and honestly, if you want to play a little bit tighter, you could play that too, the shorter term trading within 5, 10, 15 minutes. But honestly, this thing, I mean, it's not nothing crazy to trade, but it's still positive. It's a good daily mover with a decent amount of volume, okay? And then on top of that, we also have, it's just a great long-term investment. They pay out really good dividends. It's a solid company, and it's something that, looking down the line, it's something you want to be into for the long term. So JPMorgan, along with many other bank stocks, I do like, but especially JPMorgan. This is the one that I have had in my account for a while, and I do like to add on to this position when I can and when it dips. So honestly, guys, I would take a look at JPMorgan. Kind of take a look at just what the stock does throughout a few weeks at a time, but also take a look at the news. What are they reporting? Guys, you can't beat $1 for a dividend, okay? So You really got to get into this thing to earn back the money for your dividends. You trust the company will trust you. They'll give you your money back in dividends. And not only that, but this thing's riding that 180 SMA line like no tomorrow and is still continuing to move higher. Guys, let me know what you think about JPMorgan in the comments below. This is definitely a stock that I enjoy watching throughout the day, and definitely one that I want to buy in all the dips, okay? So definitely do your own due diligence and your research. But if you guys have any questions, leave in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.